Hmm, it's been a minute. Hmm, no, not now. Morning, 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 morning. Please give me a minute. I'm trying to get things together. Hmm, what is it, brain? Jumalan, guys, please tap the screen. Thank you. Anyways, morning. Hope you guys are good. Um, I'm not going to be able to Ngasile Raseja today. Today I'm not Ngasile Raseja because I have some mouth issues. Wabo. But yeah. So today, as we keep the theme, as you know, as always. So we're still continuing the same theme. Your mother secretly hates you. And this is I know this is a bit emotionally charged, right? A lot of people really, really, really believe that their mothers secretly hates them, you know. Um, and there's, there are layers to this conversation when it comes to our mothers secretly, hating us. But we see it a lot. I used to think that I used to talk a lot and say, yeah, in the black community. Other communities also have their own issues that are, they're just a lot. It's just that they have beautiful PR. And as black people, we don't have beautiful PR because we air our dirty laundries to talk about it. But I've seen that other people, other ethnic groups have beautiful PR. They do have, these issues, but they're not wildly spoken about. Um, I remember when I was in Malaysia. How the world judged you? Hey, F the world, bruh. F the world. As long as you are healing and you feeling better. Hey, but how can you hate your child? Faith Bloma. And you will know how you can hate your child. A lot of mothers, unfortunately, they do hate their kids. And they disguise it, they disguise it. And the example I wanted to give you guys when I was saying other groups have beautiful PR. And I wanted to give an example with someone that I briefly dated. Um he would speak. Other parents are just strict. Yeah, stay, don't go because I see you as Cinderella. I love it when people are becoming Cinderellas and they're saying it's not possible. It's not possible because maybe you have never experienced it. I always give an example that there's someone who stays in the middle of Guyane, doesn't have access to a phone, doesn't have access to the internet, and you find that they've never actually because they've never seen the ocean and they've never heard anyone speak of the ocean. If I was to come and tell them that the ocean does exist, they will think that I'm crazy. They will say something like that does not exist because they have never been exposed to such. So just because now personally you've never, or people around you have never, excuse me, have never been exposed to such things, you should not go around and keep on saying that it's not possible. It's the same with where people always say things like good men don't exist. Because where now you've been surrounded by men who are cheaters, men who are horrible, men who don't clean, who don't cook, who don't help their wives and help their mothers and their partners, and they're actually abusive. If I come to you and I say to you, good men exist, good marriages exist, you're going to say no because you've never experienced it. So your experience might actually just mean that when not personally in your surrounding or with your people, you've never encountered it. Doesn't mean that out there does not exist. So mothers hating their kids actually does exist. I've never said that other kids don't abuse their mother, their parents. When I walk around Cinderella, you're actually Cinderella, and okay, you're coming with what aboutism. Here's the thing. Today's topic is about mothers secretly hating their kids. It has nothing to do with other people hating their mothers, abusing their mothers and whatnot. That is not a topic for today. Today I'm sticking to the topic that is here. Mothers who secretly hate their kids. So is that thing, yeah, when today you're talking about men. Yeah, I'm talking about men. It's today's topic. I'm not going to deflect as we always deflect. I'm not going to go around, No, I'm not discussing anything personal. You might be stating facts, but it's not today's topic. That's what I'm saying to you. That's basically what I'm saying to you. Your facts don't matter today when it comes to this topic. Your facts have nothing to do with this topic. Whether kids abuse their mothers is not today's topic. It does not matter because it's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about mothers who secretly hate their kids. It's as simple as that. I mean, the topic is straightforward. So as I was giving an example when I was talking about good PR. The first example I can give you is that, have you ever watched CakeNet? If you're South African and you have DSTV, just take a day, man, even if you don't understand Afrikaans, and watch CakeNet. You will see Oroko CakeNet, all this, the series and, TV shows. They talk about love, family, understanding. Hi, shortcakes. But let me tell you, those people, they do suffer from trauma, they suffer from abuse, but they have beautiful PR in the sense that they talk about beautiful marriage, they talk about and all those things. It's because they have beautiful PR. In the Black community, if you go to Moja Love, you will see what they talk about, topics that have to do with our trauma. We talk about our traumas. We want to talk about our traumas. We want to get it out there. They have beautiful PR. As I was giving an example, this guy is Asian. He that I was talking about, he's actually Malaysian, Indian Malaysian. So the parents are refugees immigrants from India, and they were staying in Manang Manang, and they were staying in Malaysia. He grew up in Malaysia. The father was a drunkard. The father was very abusive. And you would actually not even know because there's this beautiful PR around it. They always talk about family. They always talk about coming together, eating together. And they talk about, they always spread awareness on building beautiful families, right? So Tina, we don't have beautiful PR. We don't have this thing of, oh no, what we always want to talk about it. So, but let me tell you, I used to say, oh, the Black community is traumatized. No, honey. Asians are also traumatized. Baba Mala almost saw they're also traumatized, like a lot, right? It's just that they hide it. They hide it better than us. They hide it better than us. And guys, don't be a Cinderella today. I beg of you, don't be a Cinderella. If you're a mother here and you feel that way, now you don't hate your kids, that's good. That's good. But mothers do actually hate their kids, secretly so. Secretly so. So don't come here and be a Cinderella. And now when I say things that are triggering you, you want to come on the panel and start saying, yeah, bana ba ba re abuser. Yeah, bana ba ba abuser, but today it's not today's topic. Tomorrow or after 5 days, when we have a topic of kids who are abusing their mothers, you can come and tell your story. Today we are telling the stories, and we are actually going layer and layer on mothers who actually secretly hate their kids. Guys, please tap the screen. I'll start talking about this when we are on 2K likes. Thank you to those who are tapping. Hi, not my mother. I just left it map. And here's the thing. This is where you even hear a lot of adults adult kids. I'll say adult kids because these are adults, right? These are kids who are grown now, but they're still operating from, you're an adult, but you're still operating from your childhood traumas. You're still operating from the fact that you were abused, the fact that you've been traumatized. So this is where we say psychological arrest. You're still in that, psychological arrest that you got when you're still growing up. You're an adult, but you're still a child. So this is where we hear a lot of them saying, I even used to ask myself if this person was my mother. Yeah, they break. You see, you can't tell me what, hey, parents are strict. When your mother is actually bullying you, your mother will tell you, what, hey, Ronaldo kiss. Hey, and that time, Ronaldo kiss, go school, they're already bullying you about your kiss, or they're already bullying you about the color of your skin. And you come back home and your mother's your biggest bully, making fun of your skin tone. You're dark, and you find that they love your lighter skinned sibling more than you. They take care of the lighter skinned sibling more than you. Those are those are people's lived experiences. Just because when you have never lived that experience, it doesn't mean that it does not exist. It does not mean that it does not exist. I mean, I don't like people who come here and say, yeah, but that is not possible. Say, not personally, I've never experienced it, so I don't think it's possible. Don't come here and say it does not exist. You are now actually deflecting and making other people feel like maybe they're crazy for feeling how they're feeling. This is where you hear a lot of adult kids even saying things like, I mean, I even wondered at some point if that was my mother. You see? Your mother could never even say. And people will say, yo, Mara Strops is very beautiful. And your mother will now deflect and bring in some negative comment in there. Mara. She never lets it just stop and end as, oh, thank you. Hey, no, no. She would then add more things that would be negative. And you guys want to tell me, well, that is normal. That is not normal, guys. That is basically not normal. Your parents are supposed to pour into you that when other people say to you that you're fat, and you'll be like, how? I know. And this fatness does not take away my confidence. Your parents or your mother should be able to give that into you. So the concept of, your mother, hating you. A lot of daughters, they grow up experiencing their mother not as a secure source of protection, unfortunately, but as a source of criticism, as a source of competition, as a source of, conditional affection, as a source of punishment, and also as a source of emotional abandonment as well. So um these daughters, they can be placed, into a strained psychological position, where, daughter, helper, second mother, emotional, container, and also, rival all at once. You have this mother, but you feel that maybe you are your mother's, rival as well. The experiences, things like, you were beaten, you were constantly, good morning, you were constantly, criticized, your mother competed with you, your mother loved you conditionally, your mother didn't protect you, and one air protection is the worst. It's the pits where you find that a child goes to their mother and says, Sibanibani touched me. You find that this child is 9 and says, your boyfriend touched me. And you hear the mother saying, what are we no seduce? You seduce old men. There are instances where a child will, a mother, I know a mother, I know a mother who actually took her child to a sangoma because she thought that her child was seducing her boyfriend. This parent was a single mother. She's a single mother. Her child is not saying much, but she can see how the boyfriend is kind of looking at the child. And instead of actually reprimanding the adult in the relationship and kicking the boyfriend out, she went to a sangoma and said, my child is seducing my boyfriend. Let's see if this is true. Excuse me. And the sangoma was like, yes, That child to date does not have a relationship with her mother, because the mother, when she was 9, her mother believed that she was seducing her boyfriend. And you're telling me what such things don't exist? They do exist, guys. Just say me now, I've never experienced it personally, but there are mothers who won't even hear their kids out. The minute you go there and you're like, hey mama, what did to me? And then they're like, no, when it means to Museju. And then later on, they use it against you. Your mother will be reprimanding you and saying, instead of talking to you and making you understand, and will say, let's say you're a teenager now and you're starting to date and you're rebelling. And your mother, instead of, calling you out and talking to you and making you understand that what you're doing is actually going to affect you in the long run, your mother then comes to you and say to you, yeah, even rape 7. Or your mother would say things like, yeah, wabana, that's why ibile ba go rapeile. That's why ibile ba be ba go tshwara. It's because when our papa or forward. Mothers say such things to their kids. There are mothers who actually say such vile things to their kids, where you find that they are not protecting. Your mother would punish you. Your mother would actually hate you because you look like your father. You see? You see, your mother would even hate you because you look like your father. Your mother would hate you because you act like your father. I have a friend that is a guy. My friend actually looks exactly like the father, acts like the father. And it's not that the father was, maybe a horrible person. We don't know the deeper, the deeper things in the marriage. Guys, please tap the screen. Thank you. So the father, my friend looks like the dad, and the worst part is he's the middle child. He is mistreated. The mother never compliments him. The mother hates him to a point that the mom actually took his education fund and bought the eldest sister a car. The sister started a job. My friend was doing matric, and the mom took my friend's education fund and actually bought the sister a car. So you cannot tell me, Ori, those things don't exist. They do exist. And the younger brother, my friend wanted the shares. And then he told them, they were like, we don't have money. When the younger brother, 2 or 3 weeks later, when the younger brother was having his 21st, they went and bought shares for the younger brother while they told my friend that they don't have money. You see, a lot of people have lived through it. A lot of people have honestly, lived through this, So, I am going to talk how do we know that your mother actually secretly hates you? When maternal behavior, repeatedly communicate hostility rather than safety. When your mother, instead of being safe around your mother, then there is this hostility, your pain irritates her more than it concerns her. Your pain irritates your mother more than it actually concerns her. Thank you. When you're hurting, she now becomes annoyed. She becomes dismissive or blames you rather than moving towards you. Your success seems to make her uncomfortable. The more successful you become, the more your mother hates you, the more uncomfortable she becomes. Instead of celebrating your achievements, she minimizes your achievements. She finds faults. She compares herself to you or even reminds you where you come from. We see those mothers. They do exist. When you win, you come back home so excited that you got an 80% or a 90%. Oh my gosh, I am actually number 1 in my class, kikrele 90. And she will say, where's the other 10%? I've lived through her. She was my first bully. Mine, I know she hates me, and sometimes if I had it, I really be sour to her. And the worst part is that the daughters who actually know that their mothers actually hate them, what they do now as adults? They take care of their parents. And you know what they will say? They will say, I'm doing, my duties as a daughter. I have so many women that we are actually working with that will say, I am doing my duties because I am the daughter. I'm doing because she is my parent. I now have to take care of her. Imagine taking care of someone who you know secretly hated you, whom you know secretly hates you. You know, there's one that I know. The mom used to even say to her, "When I just make, you know, you're not even smart. You just need to get yourself a wealthy husband so that he can take care of you. Don't worry about school." She's stuck in that marriage now. She's stuck in an abusive marriage because those words stuck with her. She never believed that she could amount to anything except by being a wife. And now her mother has dementia. Guess who has to take care of that mother? She's actually taking care of the mother. The mother who never paid her any attention. The mother who never told her that she loved her. And now, as an adult, she actually has to make sure that her mother is actually well taken care of. I'm a son and my mom hates me and I love her. Of course, Raymond. We've seen it. I just gave an example with one of my friends. He knows that his mother hates him. And unfortunately, he also has a child now. And he is even afraid of leaving his child so that they can babysit because he's afraid of how they will treat his child. And his child gets special need, you know. She took it all out on me. I had Judy. I gave an example before you came through that your mother will even blame you for her boyfriend or her husband's doing. Her husband, who's not your father, will touch you, will molest you, will do, sick things to you and grape you. And your mother, instead of calling out the very same partner, will come and say, "Well, now as a child, you're wrong." Will come and say, "Yeah, you seduced him." Your mother will even say to you, "You seduced that man. You seduced him. When now, why were you walking around in short things? Why are you wearing?" Your mother will even take you to go for family planning and get contraceptives instead of calling out the husband that is in the same house that is doing those things to you. Hi, hi, hi. I look exactly like my late dad. Of course. I mentioned that before you came, that mothers will even hate you for looking like the husband that actually had them, or the man that actually hurt them. We see the mothers who compete with you instead of being proud of you. We see a mother who gives affection only when you comply, when you agree with her, when you serve her, when you behave according to her expectations. She's warm. When you assert yourself, the affection now disappears. You know, we see where she humiliates you and calls it discipline. There's a difference between discipline and humiliation. She would, I haven't been home in 2 years. Wow. And sometimes we ask people that, why don't you come home? But it's not easy. I remember someone said, but now they judge a man who now actually, instead of going to his home, December, he goes to his wife's home. And I was like, guys, you don't know how people live. You don't know how people were raised. People were raised in abusive households. People don't have good relationships with their families, but they have good relationships with their in-laws. So they would rather go to their in-laws instead of going home to their parents. I've distanced myself from her. I know, Miss Rams, I was talking about that. Funny enough, a lot of people say I look like her, and she disagrees and says, wow, must be very painful. Your mother will insult you, she will beat you, there will be public embarrassment, there will be threats and also degradation as well, that are framed as "I was teaching you." I was teaching you. She protects other people from the consequences of hurting you. Someone mistreats you, and instead of asking what happened to you, she asks, "What did you do to provoke that person?" We hear questions like, "What did you do to provoke that person?" She doesn't protect you when you need her. This is perhaps one of the deepest wounds. You actually learn that your mother may be physically present, but psychologically unavailable when you needed protection. Your independence also feels like an offense to her. Just because now you are independent, it feels like you have offended her. Getting your own home, getting your own money, your own relationships, your own opinions, your own friendships, your own life choices is now interpreted as, abandonment or even, disrespect towards your mother. Wow. She constantly reminds you of what she sacrificed for you. I am the parent that stayed. Yeah. What's why you don't even treat me well? Why your father did not stay? That time you're looking at like, yeah, my dad did not stay, but you were abusing me. You are not even an amazing mother. You are not a great mother. You now have to maneuver around the fact that you have to feel guilty for the fact that she's the parent that stayed. A mother will even say to you, yeah, nah, I stayed. That man left. 1 month no contact, couldn't take the abuse. I know a lot of people now who have actually said that they're going no contact with their mothers. A lot of a lot of my clients actually do say that, hey, I don't have contact with my mother anymore. Your mother seems happier when you fail than when you flourish. Your setbacks produce, this satisfaction that you can't even, explain, or even, vindication, or I told you so, rather than, compassion. She cannot tolerate, being wrong about you. I'm even afraid of leaving my kids with her nowadays. Of course, you're not the first. A lot of people have seen that. She cannot tolerate, being wrong about you. Even as an adult, she insists on maintaining the version of you she created in your childhood. She competes for attention with her own daughter. She treats, your boundaries as betrayal. After everything I've done for you, now becomes the response whenever you say no. You are not even able to say no because your mother will say, after everything, after the things that I've sacrificed for you." It's the same of where, you now someone wants to marry you and your mother will come and say, hey, now I have taken my child to school. Why are you getting married? Kore jaanong lobola, o nyaka boma 500,000. I don't know where they expect your partner to get that 500,000. As well as your partner gets security. I took you to school. I struggled with you. You know, a mother who say, I struggled with you. I'm about to cut her off as well completely this time. She apparently even slept with my ex. How about Tungwena? Askisi. She once wrote a letter to my school to remove me from the play because how about Tungwena drops Askisi, guys? I'm talking about mothers today, Kabelo. I'm talking about mothers. Your father said that. I'm not going to talk about fathers. Read the topic. Your mother secretly hates you. I'm not talking about fathers. We have different topics. I guess maybe you're new here. We have different topics for different days. So if you're new, you can camp here and then keep on coming on our lives, and maybe one day you'll come through and you will stumble across that, because we have an event. It's Women's Month. We have an event at the end of the month. So this event is for kids who have wounds, who have a lot of the mother wound. And we are going to you have the childhood wound, childhood trauma. So we have that event. We also have a group, yeah, healing your mother wound, which is 530 days. You join the group, we start healing on day one. So yeah. Let's see. I wish I could move out. She always makes me feel bad that she hurt me. I've heard someone say her mother actually said to her, I find it difficult to love you. You're asking, guys. So she also demands access to you but doesn't offer emotional safety. She makes you feel guilty for becoming someone she did not control. Hi, do. So, um, now I want us to know how you know your mother secretly hates you, right? We don't actually know from one behavior. Hatred is an interpretation, patterns are what we can observe when we look at why we are saying, your mother secretly hates you. A mother may secretly dislike, resent, envy, compete, or even, feel threatened by her daughter when there is, a consistent pattern, such as, she repeatedly actually humiliate or even degrades you. She seems threatened by your confidence, your beauty, your success, your relationships, or even your independence. She competes, with you rather than, celebrating you. She seems, pleased when you fail or when there's distress in your life. She uses, your vulnerabilities against you. She constantly compares you. She treats your needs as an inconvenience. She expects sacrifice from you, but she doesn't extend the same consideration to you. She resents you for becoming an adult with a life separate from her. you know um but here's the important part: a mother can love her daughter and still resent her, right? She can love her but still compete with her. She can love her and still abuse her. So the more accurate question is not always, does my mother hate me? Is that, why does my mother's love repeatedly make me feel unwanted, make me feel unsafe, make me feel inadequate or even small? And if the pattern has, the pattern has actually been there for years, the daughter's unfortunately experience is actually real. If even if the mother, the mother would now deny over ever hating her. I describe your mom as key. So you must come to our event. You must come to our event or join our program where we deal with the mother wound, where we are going to deal with the mother wound. It's 30 days. Every day you show up for yourself and heal your mother wound. She always took sides with my bully sister. So, I'm going to talk about the types of mothers, right, that actually hate their kids and punished me. You know, I won't say that, there is one psychological type of mother that actually hates her children. How I wish I could tell my siblings such is possible. So, like, there's no one psychological type of mother who hates her children. So, more accurately, certain maternal or personality configurations can actually make hostile feelings towards a child more likely to actually be to be expressed. For example, the narcissistically organized mother. You may they may experience a child's independence or success or beauty or attention as a narcissistic, injury or even competition. So the child is actually valued when she reflects well on the mother, and also devalued when, she doesn't. And the emotionally immature mother, the highly controlling mother, the resentful or overburdened mother, the competitive mother, the abusive mother, the mother who was herself severely deprived of abused, or even abused rather, the rejected mother or the rejecting mother, or the mother with severe personality pathology, or, other significant psychological difficulties as well. And there's also another category that I think is particularly interesting, which is, the mother who doesn't hate a child but hates the child, what the child actually represents. So her daughter may actually represent the youth she lost, the marriage she regrets, the opportunities, she never had, the man she wanted to leave, the poverty she endured, the responsibilities she never wanted, the life she believed she sacrificed. So the daughter now becomes associated with all those things, So that's where ambivalence now actually becomes important. A mother can genuinely love her child while simultaneously actually experiencing resentment or envy or anger or regret or disappointment or even fantasies of escape as well. Human beings can hold, contradictory emotions, unfortunately. So, now, I'm going to talk about the first one that I'm going to talk about, the a narcissistically organized mother. This is not, simply a mother who is selfish or strict or difficult or even occasionally self-centered. So the term actually describes a pattern of, relating in which the mother's sense of self-worth is heavily tied to control, to admiration, to validation, to status, and also having her children reflect positively on her. Oh, Strobs, that must have been very painful growing up, because you reminded her of the woman. I think this is why when people were saying you are beautiful, she will say, but, but this, but that. She would have, this negative, comments at the back, because you reminded her of the mother-in-law that, actually hated her. So, narcissistically organized does not automatically mean she has narcissistic personality disorder. Don't get me wrong. We are describing a relational pattern and not diagnosing someone from, from a distance. I will do that one day, Mazakaza. I will do that one day. I will do that one day. Now, the thing is, we are getting towards the event that we are having. So we are just having these conversations towards the healing the mother wound. And guys, when it comes to daughters hating their mothers, I mean, I have so many questions because there's no way a child can just wake up and say, I hate my mother. There's no way, as a daughter, you could wake up and say, I hate. It's psychologically charged as well because it means there were moving factors. There are things that as a mother, you probably did that actually, tend your child to now be that. And now I know that mothers don't want to hear the words that you played a role in your child hating you. But you did play a role in your child hating you. A child cannot just wake up and say, I hate you. We see we hate we hear a lot of kids saying they hate their fathers. It's because of the behaviors and the things that, so we need to look at your parenting style. Kids tend to internalize things. This is what we know psychologically. Kids tend to internalize things. So when you internalize these things, it means there were things that actually happened for a child. A child, you will do something and a child will actually look at it and say, I am at fault. They will say, I am at fault. And they will keep on internalizing it and finding faults in themselves instead of now hating you. The hatred comes in adulthood because of the things that you did for when they were still younger. You find that they're actually in psychological arrest because of the things that they've been through. Because of you as a mother, you never protected them. You are abusive. You thought you were strict, but there's a thin line between being strict and actually being abusive. And I know a lot of mothers do not want to hear this. A lot of mothers do not want to be reprimanded when it comes to their own parenting style. Yo, Batung. She spread rumors that I was sleeping with my dad, and that time was. You see, I spoke about this when I started Portia. But they must talk, hence we need closure. They must talk. When I'm going to have that conversation one day. I'm going to have that conversation, Mazakaza. I'm going to have that conversation one day. But I don't want you guys, when you come, please get yourself some sugar water. Get yourself some sugar water because I am going to step on a lot of wounds and I'm going to come for you and your parenting. I am going to have that conversation, but I know that a lot of people are not going to love the conversation. They're going to hate the conversations because a lot of mothers believe that they did the best that they could, but unfortunately, they still actually damaged their kids. And it's not easy going to a mother and telling them that you hurt me when the mother is not ready to hear it, when they're not ready to listen to you. I'm going to give an example. I used to be a very angry person, me personally. When I was still in my early 20s, I used to be very angry. And my son said to me, excuse me, and I was extremely harsh. And my son said to me this one time, and he said, you used to be so harsh to a point that I even wondered why you are not arrested. He said those words to me. He said, I even wondered why you were never even arrested. I sat down with myself and I started on my healing journey because I had to understand what is it that I'm doing to this child, or my harshness, thinking that I'm parenting this boy child very well, that is making him think that and believe that I am too harsh to a point that this is actually borderline abuse. Went through therapy, did the work, and now the type of relationship that I have with my son, it's amazing. He's able to come to me about anything and everything. Anything and everything. Because I actually had to understand that I was basically thinking that, you know what, I am this Mbokoto. I was apparently parenting from a place where I was damaging the child without even realizing that I'm damaging him. But because I allowed him to talk to me and I listened to him, now as a teenager, he knows that he can run to me about anything. Now I'm even softer. He follows me everywhere. He follows me everywhere. He will. I even said to him, "Sningning, on a weekend, I have to go to this place, and it's for work." And he was like, "I'm going with you." He was like, "I'm going with you," and I'm like, "How were that?" And he's like, and I was like, it's such an amazing thing where you find that your teenager still wants to be in your presence and still wants to do things with you. It does not matter what it is, whether you're going there for work and you're not going there for fun, but your child still wants to do those things with you. It shows that you have done something properly. So you also need to be accountable. You also need to be accountable as a parent. So when I have that conversation with you as a parent, guys, you need to take that defensiveness and listen from that perspective. You may say you want closure, but what type of closure are you going to have if your child is still hurting? If your child is still hurting from the way that you have actually parented them, what closure are you going to have? I will arrange for mothers. I will do that. I will definitely do that. I am, believe you me, I will do that and we'll actually have those conversations. And I think one of these days we should have that with our kids. I think I will arrange an event where it's mothers and their kids. Even if you come with your adult child, you find that when you're in your 50s, your child is in their early 20s, bring that child so that we can heal and cry and wail so that our kids, those kids can also talk about their grievances. It's not only about your grievance as a mother or no, my kids don't listen to me. Your child can never just wake up and say, I'm not going to listen to my mother, guys. Your child can never wake up and say, I'm not going to listen to my mother. It means there were things that were happening. These kids are hurt. These kids are in pain. But they don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to they don't know how to say, you know what, my mother hurt me. Because they know that you will be so defensive and you're going to turn it around and it's going to be about them. Thank you for the rose. It's going to be like, where now they are wrong and all that. They don't know how to talk to you without you being defensive. The day that we have that, guys, I need you to stop being defensive. Listen to your kids. That day come, oh, a bit wet, Nana. Don't be hard. Don't be a rock. That day, be a sponge and listen. I need you to come there being sponges. Don't worry. When they say those things, they will hurt you because they will be coming for you and your personality. They will be coming for you and your personality. But as a mother, morning, I want you to you know what? My child is also hurting. I'm hurt that my child does not have a relationship with me. I'm hurt that my child does not want to listen to me. But why isn't my child listening to me? I am going to call you out. Matung, my husband's baby left the child since 2 weeks to finish school. I was at school. How I wish my mom could see this. Unfortunately, I blocked it. I can't even share this. Yes. Feedback from your kids is very important, guys. Sit with your kids down and ask them, even if you do it once a month, guys, what did I do? And your child will say this and that. Listen to them. And when you say, you know what, my child, I hear you. You also say 1, 2, 3, 4. That is where you will be able to have good relationships with your kids. Hence, I'm saying my son is a teenager and he's no longer in the middle teens. He's in his late teens, but he is my handbag. He is my handbag to a point that he wants to be next to me and go with me. And that is a privilege, that is something I love because it shows that I have created a safe space for him to still want to run around with his mother at his age. I'm also my mother's handbag. My mom will say, I'm going to turn and be like, can I drive you around? Can I take you to this place? It's because she listens to me. It's because when she has hurt me, I'm able to say, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me tell you, even now, there are things that I know that my mother did when I was still younger. I don't have particularly pitch black hair. And my mom hated that. My mom used to color my hair. And one day I was sitting, I was like, the reason I actually love colorful hair is because my mom traumatized me because she used to color my hair. And people used to make fun of me. Even now, you will never see me look like a happy say black. And I went to her, I was like, oh, what mothers? Actually, for me to have colorful hair is because you did this to me. Actually, this is coming back to me. And she was like, I didn't understand hair is because I thought it was wrong. I thought you having, a different was not normal. And I was like, people used to bully me because of the color that you would put on my hair. They didn't bully me of my natural hair color. They actually bullied me because of the black hair color. And we spoke about it and we moved on. Now I joke about it. So be able to be a sponge when it comes to your kids. Listen to them and take what they're saying, and don't be a bokoto when they come to you. And then you're a brick wall there. They're not even able to talk to you. Whether they're not even able to reprimand you. Nah, guys. Yo, you can come and tell us your story. Guys, if you have stories about your mothers, come up. Or if you have stories, request. We will not judge you. We will not judge you. I was talking about the mothers. I was talking about mothers, right? I was talking about, the narcissistically organized mother, She doesn't fully experience her child as a separate person. So, like I said, your preferences, your ambitions, your relationships, appearance, beliefs, and also decisions are interpreted through their impact on your mother. So you don't simply choose a career. You excuse me, your mother will ask, what will people say about me? Where now your child, she says that, however, I think her relationship with her mom damaged her. So that's the problem. Ish, not today. Not today. Today I think you're going to come in and talk about your experience as a mother. And I feel like it's going to be like, thank you. It's going to feel like we are deflecting and we are actually saying that, the kids who have actually experienced this type of pain, like their voices don't matter. So when we have that conversations about mothers, you can actually come through and request and tell your side of the story. There's also where your success can become threatening to your mother. So the psychologically secure mother can think, my daughter is becoming more successful than I ever was, and I'm so proud of her. But a narcissistically organized mother may experience this as she's becoming too successful. You let me see if I can send you a request if you're not private. Okay, Portia, I've sent you a request. An invitation was sent to you. So she may now minimize it or, compete with it or take credit for your success. You find that when your success, your mother actually now wants to take credit, or she might find something wrong with it or remind you that she made your success possible. It can never be like, oh, my child is successful and ends there. No, 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 no. She takes it and now she reminds you that she's the reason you're successful. Your achievement doesn't simply belong to you. It becomes something she needs to psychologically manage as well. She may now compete with her daughter. I can write a book about my mom, Shem, and the series. So this can now become particularly visible with daughters. Your beauty, your youth, your education, your career, your social attention, your motherhood, your independence. So instead of now experiencing these as your life, she actually experiences them, competitively. You aren't simply beautiful. There's this implicit who is more beautiful. You are not, simply successful. Who has achieved more when it comes to your mother? You are not simply receiving attention. Why are people paying attention to you? So she can be, intensely invested in how you make her look. So the child now becomes a reflection of the mother. Is it wrong if a mother got married with another man and leave you with her mother? Now I feel it's wrong. Some people say, nah, ke a gafa, o isha kae ngwana, jwang, jwang. I will never be able to choose a man over my child. Because now I will not be raising my child. I will never be able to. It means that I will not be there taking care of my child and raising my kid. I feel that it's wrong. This is my personal perspective, right? It is not a universal perspective, by the way. To answer your question, Cutie Pie, it is my personal opinion that it does not make sense. It does not make sense that me as a parent, I would actually leave, my child so that she can be raised by my mother while I'm there creating a new family with my kids, where I'm there with my new husband and my kids. Never. If I were rapping money, then it's fine. My stepdad would hit me badly and lock me in rooms, and my mom didn't. This is what I was talking about. When I was world, that you find that your mother never protected you. when you're a parent, your kid comes first, especially when they are little. You can't choose. You can never choose a man, guys. You cannot choose a man. If someone is saying they love you and they marry, and when you get to that marriage as well, when you get to that marriage, protect your child. Protect your child. You guys have this thing of you not protecting the child that you came with in marriage. You have this thing of not protecting your kids that you came with in marriage. You protect those ones that actually were created in the marriage. You find that the first child who you came with, your handbag that you came with in the marriage, you do not protect that child. They're abused. They are beaten. They are done nasty things, and you keep quiet. I had a fight with my mom yesterday. It was the first time I've ever spoken to for myself. Ooh, how was the fight? I was gripped by him and she did nothing. Instead, she blamed me and accused me. Hey, guys. You know, I think some of you just landed on this live because before you came, I spoke about such mothers. They will say things like, when you are seducing my husband, you are seducing my boyfriend. And you ask yourself in China, how am I seducing this person? Like, how does it work? So, as I was saying, now the second type of mother that I'm going to talk about, right, is actually an emotionally immature mother. What if you were raised by an emotionally immature mother? It must have been one difficult childhood that you've heard. You know, an emotionally immature mother is not necessarily cruel or narcissistic. She may love her children deeply, but unfortunately, she may lack the emotional capacity to handle the demands of motherhood in a healthy and regulated manner. The central issue in this is often, she expects the child to accommodate her emotions instead of now learning to accommodate the child's emotions. You know, oh, I hear you. I hear you. So, this is what it looks like. She makes your feelings about her, right? So you actually, you tell your mom that you're hurt, and instead of saying I understand why you're hurt, you get, so I'm a terrible mother now. So I'm a terrible mother now. Instead of now actually, holding space for you. This is why you find that when now as an adult, you're not able to hold space for your friends. You're not able to hold space for other people and your partners because space was never held for you. This is why when your partner actually comes to you as an adult, as a woman who's dating, comes to you and say, baby, yesterday when you spoke to Tepo, I didn't like it because I felt like you're flirting. And instead of saying, baby, I didn't see it that way, I was not trying to flirt. You say, yeah, when I order Nike Ajola, Nike favor, you escalated to a place where it's not supposed to be escalating to. Your boss comes to you and says, that presentation, I need you to amend or to actually review 1, 2, 3, 4 on your presentation. You're like, yeah, this boss probably thinks that I'm stupid. What do you now turn around? You turn it around, what do you make it, seem like it's this huge thing, and you're not even able to be teachable because your mother, when you went to her with your emotions, she turned it around, and instead of holding space for you, she was not able to do that. She turned it around and made it about her. Yeah, it means when you're saying I'm a terrible mother, so your pain becomes an accusation against her. The second one is that she cannot tolerate your negative emotions. You find that your mother was not able to tolerate your negative emotions. Sadness, anger, disappointment, fear, frustration. These emotions make her uncomfortable. So she tries to shut them down. Stop crying. You're too sensitive. There's nothing to be upset about. Other children have it worse. You know, so you eventually learn that having feelings creates problems. And now you find that you're an adult that does not have feelings. You do have feelings, but you shove it down. You don't care about, like, you find it very difficult to actually sit with your feelings. You can go on Kaise, you can follow us, subscribe on YouTube. I am going to upload this. This one I'm going to upload, I promise you. I've decided that I'm going to upload these lives. So our lives, every morning once we are done, we are going to upload them on YouTube. So do subscribe. Do subscribe on our channel. Obviously, it's Trauma Neuro Institute of South Africa. You will find us there. Hi, Momo. Go on YouTube and put it there, and you will find this. I think I'm going to do it later, but I am going to. Thank you. So that is, I'm going to post it there. Anyways, as I was saying, so you eventually believe that your feelings are a problem. This is why even when someone steps on your toes, you keep quiet. You become the agreeable, person. I am writing a novel, guys, that says good women a good woman makes a good victim. It's because you are too quiet. It's because society, patriarchy, your mother, your father made you believe that morning, that way, not being a good woman means that you are a good person. No, 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 no. It makes you a good victim. So you become victimized in spaces without realizing that you're actually victimized because you were given the blueprint of being a good woman. And there's a part where she expects you to regulate her. Your mother will expect you to regulate her. This is one of the clearest signs. You become responsible for keeping her happy. You monitor her mood. You choose your words carefully. You avoid telling her, things because you know how she will actually react. You apologize even when you are not wrong because you need the atmosphere to actually become peaceful again. The child becomes the emotional caretaker. And guys, there's also a book that you can get from us. It's a PDF. It's $70. It's called We Hate Our Eldest Daughters and Call It Love. If when you feel that you were hated by your mother, get the book. Even if you're not an eldest daughter. I have people who are only they are the youngest, they're the only daughters, but they bought the PDF and they've been crying. They said the book makes them cry because they see themselves, but it will also heal you. Get the book. Good morning. Get the book. It's only $70. It's called We Hate Our Daughters. We Hate Our Eldest Daughters and Call It Love. It's because of the conditions that Shem, get the book. You will see it will resonate, even though you're not the eldest daughter. You will resonate. A lot of people come to me and they say, "Oh, we read the book. It's making me cry." Oh, but get the book. It's a PDF. You will love it. You will love it. This is just many wounds. I need the book. You must get the book. I'm sorry for opening your wounds, guys. I'm sorry for opening the wound. Send a message on the number on the screen 079 757 0393. 079 757 0393. Yes, they do. We hate our daughters and call it love. It's as simple as that. And a lot of daughters are hurt on the inside. They are hurt because of how they were treated by their mothers from when they were still young. She has difficulty apologizing. And I know a lot of you have mothers who find it difficult to apologize. I'm selling it, 70 rands. Nothing for Mahala, we do melo. Nothing for Mahala. So she may say things like, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't have. I'm sorry you felt that way. Well, you made me angry. So there's really genuine ownership over how your mother actually steps on your toes. She behaves like the injured party when you set boundaries. You say, I cannot do that. And your mother says, or she hears, you don't matter to me, and responds with guilt, responds with anger, responds with withdrawal or accusations or even emotional manipulation as well. So she also overshares adult problems with her child. The daughter becomes a therapist. You hear about her marital problems, her financial problems, her sexual relationship problems, her family conflicts, the mother's loneliness, her other people's betrayals. So the child learns far too early that mother needs me emotionally. Mother needs me emotionally. And she can also be emotionally unpredictable. One day your mom is warm, the next day she's cold. One day something is funny, the next day the exact same behavior makes her brutal. Makes her furious. Then the child now becomes hyper attuned to her mother's emotional state. What version of my mom am I getting today? Go to your mom when she's walking down. Passaging. You utshwara ke mala. You get so sick. you get sick to your stomach, you feel like going to the toilet, you fart, you have problems. It's because you have irritable bowel syndrome because of the stress and the trauma that your mother has caused you. It's because your mother is a yo-yo. Today she's up, tomorrow she's down because of her own emotions. Because of her own emotions and because of how she treats you. You don't know the version of your mother that you're getting. Your mother is a yo-yo. Today she's happy. The very same thing that made her happy today, tomorrow when you talk about it, she's angry. She's angry. And you see, when you say fathers, sons, your mother, you might find that she's a pick me, she's male-centered. If your mother is male-centered, when as a daughter, you will be raised with so much pain. Your siblings, brothers, will sit down and don't do anything. Where now you will be the bokot of the house, taking care of your brothers. How do you solve that? Because it's a mother. You have to reparent yourself. Carrie, you need to reparent yourself. You have to reparent yourself. You have to give yourself the love that your mother never gave you. Love you the way you would have loved your mother to love you. So this is where we go through your childhood traumas. We go through and then we reparent you. Join our reparenting group. And guys, there are a few groups that are free, that are free, but there are others that you can pay for. So the free ones, unfortunately, it's only one this month, and it's becoming her. And unfortunately with you, it's in the middle of the month now, so you will not be able to join it. And if you join the group, you are going to start from day 17 because already we are on day 16. But one thing I can tell you is that you can join other groups, the mother wound, the father wound, the reparenting group. Let us know. Send us a message on WhatsApp. We will add you to the group. We start. If more than 5 people, we start. More than 5 people, we start on that day. We start on that day. And we continue. So the program, you need to be ready to work on it. You need to be ready to be triggered. And when you're triggered, you also know that we will hold space for you and you will actually, heal. So it's only 500 rands. It's 30 days. It's 30 days. We show up every day. You come every day. We give you tasks. You do the work every day for 30 days straight. But because I can't block her because it's you can't. She's 75. You can, but if you don't want to, it's okay. I mean, it's preference. So there's also where the mother who confuses obedience with emotional maturity. So a good daughter is one who doesn't challenge her. When you challenge your mother, you're a horrible daughter. When you challenge your mother, you are actually a horrible daughter. It's very unfair. But you're an adult now. You're not. I always say that you're not responsible for the things that happen to you. It's not your fault those things happen to you, but it's now your responsibility to heal from those things. The father wound group is draining everything in me. I can't function. The damage was big. You see, Kaisa, but you'll be fine. By the end of the week, with it, you will be fine. Because I heard you say from day 3 you feel heavy. It's your body, it's because it has done that number on you. It has damaged you so much. And as an adult, you've carried the father wound into your adulthood. Imagine how many years it has been at your big age. So you've been carrying the wound and dragging it around with you. So now having to let it go is not the easiest thing, but you will let it go and you will come out on top. Believe you me. And Kaise, I love the fact that you've been through my programs. You know that it will be very difficult, but at the end, in a week time after we are done, you'll look back and you say, nah, but now I'm better. I don't even know how I managed, to live like that. And you know this. You're one of my biggest clients who have joined, countless, programs. And I know for a fact that the outcomes at the end. You know how beautiful the outcomes are. Hello. Let's see. I haven't been talking to her for months. Now I feel better. Oh, okay. So there's a part where, like I said, she confuses obedience with emotional maturity. So a good daughter is one who actually, let's see. secretly hates you. I wanted to put this in the center. Ah, value, you come out untouchable. No one can say anything to you. The beginning, guys, is the most difficult because I'm going to touch the wound that you did not even realize that you had. We touch things that you didn't know existed. And then you're like, no, man, this is why I act this way. But the minute you do the work, you're like, oh, this feels better. You know, this actually feels better. So there's also a part where your mother struggles to see her child developmentally. You know, she also may compete emotionally with her children, not necessarily because she wants what they have, but because she hasn't developed a secure sense of herself. And you find that your mother is actually, you know, competing with you. So there's another type of mother that I want to talk about, you know, excuse me, the highly controlling mother. The highly controlling mother. So a highly controlling mother is a mother who has difficulty tolerating her child having autonomy. Her central, you know, psychological need is actually often not simply, I want my child to be safe, but it is actually, I need my child to behave in a way that allows me to feel secure, respected, needed, or even in control. You know, and control can look very different from, you know, from obvious abuse, right? You think this is not relevant to Abu Bud, sometimes the one who has caused emotional wounds? Hey, even with the boys, guys, we do have these conversations. Women, you know, you're the one who has a problem. How can you say such things? Buti, this is not for you. I guess you are triggered. I mean, I love it. I love it when people are triggered. I might be the problem, but you are triggered. What is triggering you so much? What is it in you that actually makes you believe that I'm the problem for bringing out the type of mothers that actually damage their kids? What is it in you that is becoming a Cinderella? What is triggering you, my dear? I need you to actually go and do some introspection, because this tells me that you have underlying issues that are, you know, damaging you, you know, that are triggering you. You are triggered by what I am just saying. Imagine being triggered. Ah, oh, I have a mother. So if you have a mother, is your mother an angel, guys? Is your mother is human. Your mother makes mistakes. So whether your mother is your mother is actually this angel that does not make mistakes, that does not. But guys, we've never said you don't love your kids. Why are you guys becoming Cinderellas? Well, now when you become a Cinderella, this tells me that there are things that you're doing that are damaging your kids. It is a hard topic. I always have hard topics. Anyways, as I was saying, um, control can look very different from abuse, right? So this is the mother who confuses control with protection, right? So she may genuinely believe that I'm only doing this because I care about you. But her care comes with, you know, rules about what you should wear, who you should date, what career you should choose, where you should live, how you should parent, and also what decisions you should make, you know. Hey, we are discussing hateful mothers, and people are wearing, they're putting on the glass shoe. Like, I don't understand why you would put on a glass shoe. You know that you love your kids. So why do you feel the need to come and tell us that you love your kids? You know you love your kids. Why should you announce it that you love your kids? Why should you announce the fact that when you love your kids? Because we didn't say you hate your kids. We said your mother secretly hates you. Why is the first point of reference saying, hey, like, hey, but I love my kids? Then it means I have triggered something. Then it means that the type of mothers that I am actually describing here, you might actually be one of them. So there's also where no is not an acceptable answer to your mother. No is not an acceptable. Good for you. Not everyone actually experienced a mother that actually loves them. Good for you. Congratulations. Kusho to happy birthday, Beyonce. Kusho to happy birthday, Beyonce, because when your mother loves you. It's as simple as that. Then this topic is not for you. Then why do you feel the need to come and tell us and put it in public and tell us that when your mother loves you? I get this topic is not for you. Happy birthday, Beyonce. So as I was saying, So when you say you can say no, she negotiates, you explain, she argues. You repeat yourself, she becomes angry. So eventually, you learn that your no is mere the beginning of a battle. So you don't even say no to your mother. She makes decisions for you long after you are capable of making them yourself. You find that you're an adult, but you're not able to make decisions for yourself because your mother actually fights it. Your career, your friends, your partner, your living arrangements, your clothes, your finances, your religious or even cultural practices. So your adulthood doesn't change her perception of her authority. She even demands information from you. And there's also the type of mother that I want to talk about, which is, a resentful or even an overburdened mother. you know a resentful or overburdened mother is a mother who has accumulated so much exhaustion, sacrifice, disappointment, responsibility, or even unmet needs that those feelings begin to spill into how she experiences and also treats her children. So this doesn't necessarily mean that she doesn't love them. So in fact, this is one of the mothers who can love her children deeply while simultaneously actually resenting what motherhood has cost her, right? It is difficult to understand when you were raised by a good mother, but I've learned from friends. Yes, I can't heal that woman. Broke me. Sham. You can heal. You can heal. Join our mother wound group or our reparenting group. Believe you me, you will heal. You will look at it and say, I can't heal. But a month from now, you will be a totally different person. You will be like, oh, this is something I thought I couldn't heal from. Now, guys, I'm very confident in my returns. I know for a fact that when you book sessions, whether you join programs or one-on-one, I am very confident in the returns. I am I can put my life on the line on that because I know what the returns look like. Good morning. First time here. The subject hits home. Yes, for a lot of people, welcome. For a lot of people, the subject ish might be triggering, unhealed mothers. Ish, me and my sister, we used to complain about her each and every day, but I've decided that not anymore. You see, even Becca is here. Now I'm very confident with my returns. Well, now if I say to you, I will heal you. And if I see, or hey, I'm struggling to heal this one, Bona, I don't sleep. But I will be asking myself, Auntie, what did I do? What is going on? Why is this one? There's something that I'm missing. I want to stay, but I'm triggered. The healing journey is hard as keys. So here's the thing. So this is where she constantly reminds you of what she gave up. So you grow up hearing, I gave up my whole life for you. I am the parent that stayed. I could have been something. If I didn't have children, my life would have been different. So now as a child, you begin to feel that your existence has a price attached to it. And you also your mother's sacrifices become emotional debt. So food, school fees, clothing, housing, opportunities, everything can eventually become evidence that you owe your mother. So when you disagree with her, you will hear things like, after everything that I've done for you, the sacrifice is not simply something she chose to give, it becomes leverage for you. We also hear where she may resent the child who needs her most. So a baby doesn't know she's exhausted. A toddler doesn't understand financial pressure. A teenager doesn't understand marital problems. But the mother may now begin, unconsciously associating the child's needs with exhaustion, with poverty, with lost freedom, an unhappy marriage, or even unfulfilled life. So the child now becomes the visible reminder of everything she feels she lost. And she may now also parent through exhaustion rather than presence. So she's always tired, she's always irritated, she's always doing something for someone. And eventually, can't you do anything yourself? Is what you would hear. She may also glorify self sacrifice. She doesn't simply want to be a mother, she has built her identity around sacrificing for everyone. So, and sometimes this means that, she cannot tolerate children who don't want to suffer in the same way. If when you told yourself that I am not going to suffer, the same way my mother suffered, she will hate you. She will hate you. You choose the easier life, you are spoiled. You enjoyed worse and you prioritize yourself. Young people today are selfish. You'll hear your mother saying, you are selfish. I'm tired of nursing her feelings. They say such things. She can become resentful when her children now become independent. So this sounds, contradictory, but she spent years saying to you, I do everything for you. So, but when you finally become capable of doing things yourself, she may feel abandoned or even unappreciated. And this is, because being needed has become part of her identity. It has become part of her identity. So there's also a mother that I want to talk about, which is the competitive mother. So a competitive mother is actually a mother who experiences her child's, qualities, achievements, attention, relationships, or even appearances, through a comparative lens rather than, simply experiencing them as something to celebrate. So competition can be obvious, but sometimes it's very subtle, or it's subtle enough that the daughter spends years thinking, maybe I am imagining it. I think my mom actually is competing with me, but I'm not sure. So you go your whole life thinking that maybe you are imagining it. So she struggles to simply celebrate you. You achieve something significant. So instead of, I'm proud of you, there's immediately, that's nice. When I was your age? Da 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 da. So your achievement becomes the starting point for comparison. You find that now you have a good career. You are 25, you're 30, you're not married. And you say, oh, I just got a promotion. And you hear your mother saying, yeah, but now when I was your age, I was married with 2 kids. But now it's a competition. So achievement becomes the starting point for comparison. We also see your success actually activates her. So you get promoted. She actually talks about that, what she accomplished at your age. You become financially independent. She tells you how much she sacrificed. You receive recognition. She explains why your achievement is not as, impressive as you think. She also competes with your appearance. This can be particularly uncomfortable between mothers, and daughters. She may comment on who is prettier. She can comment on who looks younger. She can comment on who gets more attention, whose body looks better, who dresses better, who receives compliments as well. So sometimes it is disguised as humor. Things like, you think you're beautiful now, or men only notice you because you are young. So the daughter starts feeling that, her femininity actually threatens her mother. Yes, others are actually compared. So she becomes uncomfortable when other people admire you. So someone compliments your intelligence, she interrupts. Someone compliments your appearance, she dismisses it. Someone praises your parenting, she tells them what you supposedly do wrong. So the problem is not necessarily your achievement, it's the attention you're actually receiving. She also compares your life to her life, right? So you travel, she reminds you that she never had that opportunity. You buy something nice, she tells you that she managed to survive without whatever. You know, you have a supportive partner, she reminds you that she raised children alone. And instead of allowing your life to be yours, she keeps bringing you back into comparison with hers. And she may also compete for attention of men rather. This can be especially uncomfortable. Your boyfriend or your husband compliments you and she becomes dismissive. She may flirt unnecessarily, dress differently around your partner, seek your partner's approval, or even position herself as more experienced or even more desirable as well. Not every awkward mother daughter interaction means competition, of course. The important thing is a persistent pattern of rivalry, right? Ever since I talked about what her husband did to me, these days, whenever we argue, she would say, "Re lwela monna." Yo, this is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about, that she will even say, well, now you are seducing her man. And you don't even understand what she's talking about. She may also try to outperform you, you know. She may also minimize your attractiveness or even desirability as well. She can also sabotage moments where you're receiving recognition. Your graduation, your wedding, your promotion, your birthday, you know, and a public award. Instead of allowing the moment to belong to you, She will actually create drama or introduce criticism or even redirect attention as well. So the daughter begins associating her achievements with anticipating, maternal disruption as well. She may also compete with your relationship with your father or with your partner. So your closeness with another person can feel like a loss of status. So you spend time with your partner, you don't have time for your mother anymore. She'll say such things. Your father praises you, he never talks about me like that. So your child prefers spending time with you. You always get all the attention. So the competition is not always about achievement. Sometimes it's about love and also attention as well. So now I want to talk about the abusive, the abusive mother. Hey, ke matlaka, mabona mama ka graduate. So the abusive mother is not simply a mother who loses her temper or who makes mistakes or who has difficult relationship with her child. So abuse is a pattern of behavior that actually harms, degrades, intimidates, exploits, or even controls a child. So, an abuse can exist alongside love, by the way. A mother can say, I love you, and still abuse a child. That contradiction is part of what makes maternal abuse so confusing. I'll break up with my husband and she will invite him. Hey, I saw someone where Nabulala the very same thing. Ari, she's divorcing with her husband, but the mom is actually supportive of the husband. You know, of the husband. I'll break up. Choosing a child is wrong. What do you mean choosing a child is wrong? So you want our mothers to choose their husbands? Then where do you guys have kids? You have kids so that you can choose men over them. Then don't have kids so that you can keep on choosing those men in peace. So that you can have, in peace without anyone ever telling you that you're wrong. So what about older siblings who hate the younger siblings? That is not the topic today, Pop. That is not the topic today. The topic is your mother secretly hates you. The topic is about mothers. Not siblings, not fathers, not kids hating their mothers. No, 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 no. It's about your mother secretly hates you. So this is what an abusive mother can actually look like. The physically abusive mother. She uses, my mother makes me to be a narcissist when I'm not that way. Augusta, my dear. That is a very, very thin line. So the physically abusive mother. There is hatred, my dear. There is hatred. Thank you, thank you. She uses physical force as punishment, as control, or even emotional discharge. Hitting, beating. And by the way, what's your name? Nelly. By the way, when you say it's jealousy and not hatred, clearly you haven't been in my community. Clearly, I can tell that you don't work in my line of work. There are people whose mothers have actually said to them, I don't know how to love you. I've tried my whole life, but I don't know how to love you. Hearing those words from their mothers, that is not jealousy. That is pure hatred. you know so kicking you, burning you. Some mothers also burn their kids, actually. Throwing objects, pulling hair, physically restraining. So the justification is often, I was disciplining you. But discipline does not require violence. you know Excuse me. There's also the verbally abusive mother. She attacks the child's identity rather than correcting behavior. You are stupid. You are useless. Nobody will ever want you. You are a disgrace. You are just like your father. So the child doesn't hear you did something wrong. The child actually hears there's something wrong with you. There's also the emotionally abusive mother. She repeatedly uses rejection, humiliation, intimidation, threats, manipulation, or even emotional withdrawal to actually control the child. So she may threaten abandonment. She may withhold affection as punishment. She may deliberately humiliate the child. She may, constantly criticize, threaten to disown them, make them responsible for her emotions, or even use fear to obtain obedience. So the child learns that love can disappear at any moment. And there's also the humiliating mother. She doesn't restrict the abuse to private spaces. She embarrasses her child in front of siblings, in front of relatives, teachers, friends, partners, and even strangers. The humiliation itself now becomes punishment, you know. There's also the threatening mother. So she doesn't have to hit you to make you afraid. She may repeatedly threaten, I'll leave you, I'll throw you out, I'll kill you, you'll regret this. I'll tell everyone what you've done. There are mothers who actually even kick their kids out. Oh, I got 12 in the evening. Your mother say, get out of my house. You can't tell me that is jealousy. That is hatred. You know for a fact that we live in a country that is very unsafe, but you're saying your child should leave the house at 12. What kind of mother are you? That is an effed up thing to do. That is the most effed up thing to do. You're telling now when you wake up in the morning, you're angry. You don't even fight the kids. Get 8 in the evening, you tell your kids to leave your house. Where are your kids supposed to go? Because this is their home. Because that is their home. You see, at 11, your mother locked you outside. What are you supposed to do? It's at night. And we know that we don't live in one of the safest countries in the world. It's not safe out there. And some will even lock the gate, not just kick you out of the house. They will even kick you out of the yard. They will even say, get out of my yard. Imagine someone who will say to you, I even slept in the kraal, in the cow's kraal, because my mother kicked me out. I slept in the outside toilet because my mother kicked me out. Those are stories that we hear on a daily. Those are traumatic stories that we hear on a daily. So you cannot come here and tell me that it's jealousy. Hey, it's not hatred. Just because you haven't lived it, it doesn't mean that it does not exist. It is not your story. Your story is different from other people's stories. This is not a one-size-fits-all. Don't take your story and think that your story is a generalized thing. It is not generalized. It is not a general story. Yes, they use adulthood to be bullies, You know, Weda Becca, someone says she actually started her periods because she was so afraid of her mother. She used toilet paper. And then one day, in that instance, because she didn't know, she then blotted herself. Her mother beat her. Her mother beat her. Her mother beat her and she said, yeah, when you are seeing men, now you are sleeping with men, because she saw her periods. And she was so afraid of telling her mother. She was so afraid of telling her mother because she knew that her mother was so abusive with the words that she was saying. And her mother was saying, yeah, I let this days for not Babanna. She went for months using a toilet paper because she could not run to her mom and tell her, well, mom, my periods are here. You see, because of the very same parents, you guys are saying, no, a mother cannot hate her kids. It is not your story, guys. It is not your story. If your story is different from what I'm talking about, then shut up. Happy birthday, Beyonce. Good for you. It's not your story. This does not resonate with you. Then shut the hell up. It's not your story. Because now you're making other people feel that they're crazy because you're actually deflecting. And you're making people feel that their stories, their emotions don't matter because when you didn't go through it, it's not yours to carry. You see, she fought your father, and now you got the punishment. So there's also the scapegoat mother. So when something goes wrong in the family and somehow you become the problem, the family conflict becomes your fault. Your siblings' behavior become your responsibility. Her marriage problems become your fault. Her unhappiness becomes your fault. And eventually you occupy the role of the difficult child. And once that identity is actually established, almost anything you do can actually be interpreted as evidence for it. And you will hear people saying, yeah, but your mother can never ever hate you. How can you give birth to a child and actually hate them? Guys, these stories exist. Just say, Mina, at home, I am loved, and keep quiet and move on. And hold space for those whose parents did not love them. and hold space for those who are never cared for. Hold space for those who are never loved. That is the whole point of having these conversations. It's because we are trying to hold space for those who never experience the type of love that you are talking about. Don't come here and actually dismiss other people's feelings and emotions and their stories and their lived experience because when you haven't been through it. Yes, you must just say I cannot relate and keep it moving. And you don't even have to announce it in the comments and say, nah, I love my kids. Hey, nah, I'm loved. Hey, don't announce it. It is not yours. Just say to yourself, I cannot relate, and it's okay. And keep it moving. Yes, we are coming from different standpoints. We are coming from different standpoints. Why what? You want us to celebrate you happy birthday, Beyonce, okay? And what did you do when Matapelo, when you were when you were go boarding school and couldn't go home, got holidays? What was happening? What was happening? So there's also the parentifying mother. Woman at the parentifying mother, we see it in a lot of households. She turns the child into a caregiver. So the daughter becomes the responsible one. She becomes responsible for younger siblings, household functioning, emotional support, managing family conflict, caring for the mother, protecting the family from the mother's moods. So the child is not allowed to simply be a child. There's also the neglectful mother. Abuse is not always something a mother does. Sometimes it's what she repeatedly actually fails to do. She may consistently fail to provide adequate supervision, emotional responsiveness, protection from unknown danger, basic physical care, medical attention, appropriate food or even clothing, a reasonably, safe environment. And the child now learns that no one is coming. This is where people will say, we see this trend online where people are saying, no one is coming to save you. It's because they have lived that experience. They know for a fact that no matter what, no one is coming to save me. I have to save myself. I am my own person who's going to save me. And that's their own, their own stories. They know for a fact that nobody's coming for them. They are their own protector. They are the ones that are going to protect themselves and come for themselves and save themselves. And when not because now you know that your mother is coming to save you, your sibling is coming to save you. Hey, kushagote happy birthday Beyonce. Kushagote, hey, good for you. But that is not your story. Like I said, today's topic, if you know that you don't hate your kids, your mother does not hate you, then shut the hell up. It is not for you. It is not your story. It is not your story. And it's okay. And it's okay for it to not be your story without announcing it, because now you are making other people feel even worse. Do you know how painful it is for people to actually make you feel like you're crazy your whole life for not caring about your mother, because your mother did all these horrible things to you? And people around you will say, but it's your mother. Hey, take care of your mother. Hey, it's your mother. And now when people are trying to hold space for you, someone comes and say, but Mina, that is, hey, it's not yours. Keep it moving. It's cool. Keep it moving. It's whatever. It's whatever. So now I want to talk about the rejecting mother. The rejecting mother. So the rejecting mother is one of the most painful maternal patterns because the child is not necessarily being openly attacked. Sometimes the wound, comes from something very quiet. She simply doesn't choose me. And a lot of kids know this, the rejecting mother, where they know that the mother simply doesn't choose them. It is not very visible, like in this huge thing, but you know in your heart that my mother will never choose me. My mother never chooses me, and and when that happens repeatedly, especially when the mother appears to choose other people over her own child, it actually can create a very particular, kind of attachment wound, So a rejecting mother may be physically present, but emotionally unavailable, may be dismissive, or even, may actually be actually be invested elsewhere instead of you. She might seem warmer towards other people, towards your siblings, or or towards other people's children. I hear where mothers are actually they are well known, and they actually are horrible mothers at home, but they take care of every Tom, Dick, and Harry Strateng, but never their kids. This is where we see she praises the neighbor's daughter but criticizes you. Hey, ngwana next door, but keeps on criticizing you. She is patient with your cousin but impatient with you. She listens to her friends' problems but never wants to hear your problems. She celebrates other people's achievements while finding something wrong with your achievements. And you notice it. You notice those things. And children are incredibly sensitive to differences in emotional availability. You become so sensitive to the emotional availability. She chooses everyone except you. This is the heart of the wound. She chooses everyone except you. She chooses her partner over you. She chooses her friends over you. She chooses her siblings over you. She chooses your siblings over you. She chooses other people's children over you, family reputation over you, the person who hurt you over you. We have programs. We have programs, Carol. We have programs. We have the reparenting program. You can join our reparenting program. It's 500. We work on it for 30 days. So we give you tools so that you do not regress. We help you love yourself the way you would have loved to be loved by your mother. It's as simple as that. It's 500 rands. You join the group, you are in. So as I was saying, so sometimes the message is not necessarily explicit. It is actually communicated through repeated communications. If she really loved me, wouldn't she choose me? Those are the questions that you actually ask yourself. She also protects other people, from you, and doesn't protect you from other people. Yes, the stories are very sad. Very, very sad. This is particularly devastating. Someone mistreats you, you tell your mom, and instead of confronting the person, she says, hey, when I don't cause problems, just leave it. That's your uncle. That's your father. You know how that person is. So now, as a child, you have actually learned that maintaining relationships is more important than protecting you. She also believes other people's versions of you. Sometimes, when someone accuses you of something, what your mother does is that she immediately believes them. Your explanation doesn't actually matter. So you become the one who must prove your innocence. And eventually, other people's words carry more weight than your own words. There's also where she's warmer to you when other people are not watching. So in private, she may actually seem loving, but around other people, she distances herself from you. She also prioritizes being liked over being your mother. She may also reject you when you need her the most. You are sick, you are grieving, you are being bullied, you are going through, a breakup, you are struggling. And instead of now moving closer, she becomes irritated. You will be fine. Stop being dramatic. I have enough problems. So as a child, you actually learn that my needs push people away. So this is why now you deal with your own things alone when you're an adult. You're not able to deal and reach out to people when you're going through emotional things. You are going through grief, but you're going through it alone. You do not even want support from your loved ones. You see, that part, her actually forgiving your rapist over on your behalf, that must be very painful because you felt like she could not hold space for you. Your emotions were never actually contained, or actually you were never necessarily helped. So she may also prefer the child who doesn't challenge her. Sometimes rejection is not random. One child is compliant, one asks questions. One child is sensitive, one is outspoken. So one actually reminds the mother of someone she actually dislikes, and one requires more emotional attention. So the mother now gravitates towards the child who makes her feel comfortable, and the other becomes the difficult child, And she may also openly favor other children. This can be incredibly damaging. She may say, "Look at how well your cousin is doing. Why can't you be more like your sister? She is such a good child." So the child now doesn't just hear praise for someone else. She hears, "You are not the one I would have chosen. You're not the one I would have chosen." So she can also reject you while, insisting that she loves you. The mother who chooses the person who hurt her child, you know, um, a daughter says, "He hurt me," and the mom says, "But his family." A daughter says, "He mistreated me," or "She mistreated me," and the mom says, "You need to understand her." The daughter says, "I don't feel safe around him," and the mom says, "Don't embarrass us." So the daughter is essentially being told, your pain is negotiable if protecting you makes someone else feel comfortable. So that can fundamentally actually alter how you understand relationships as an older person. You may grow up as an adult who constantly asks, "Will someone choose me?" This is why you find yourself with partners who use me, partners who are nonchalant, partners who abuse you, partners who are emotionally unavailable, because you are looking for, "Will someone choose me?" And because you didn't experience being chosen consistently by your mother, you may tolerate relationships where you are actually the person who gives, more and more and more. You may actually accept unavailable partners. You may actually overgive. You may compete for affection. You may desperately prove your worth. You may stay where you are not valued because fighting for love feels familiar, because you had to fight for love when it came to your mother when you were still growing up. You had to fight for love when you were still young because your mother did not give you a consistent love. And that's why the rejecting mother can leave a particularly painful internal belief. There must be something about me that makes people choose someone else. Kodwa you even have fear of abandonment. You cling on to relationships that do not actually, serve you. It's like holding water, and instead of holding it like this, you clench onto the water. And obviously, when you clench onto something, it's going to spill over, because your mother taught you that your pain is negotiable, where not to actually get love, you have to there's something about you that actually makes people choose someone else instead of you. But as a child, you were never supposed to audition for your mother's love. To start off with, you were never meant to audition for your mother's love. You were supposed to receive your mother simply because you exist. Would you believe my mom coached me for a whole week to lie in front of a judge? Yo, aski so. So now I'm going to talk particularly about the mother who doesn't hate her child, but hates what her child represents. And I see this in a lot. I see this a lot in the Black community. You know, she almost hit me when I was pregnant. Yo, I feel unseen. Come to us, Miss K. Join our program. You will feel seen. You will be seen. You will know that you are loved. So as I was saying, so this one is a particularly, complex form of maternal rejection, because the child can actually become psychologically associated with the person who harmed, who betrayed, who abandoned, who humiliated, or even who disappointed the mother. So for example, you know, she may look at her son and see the man who abandoned her. She may look at her daughter and see the face, the mannerisms, the voice, the temperament, or even the personality of a father who abused her. The child is innocent, but psychologically, the mother may experience, "You remind me of him." And that can actually be profoundly, can profoundly affect how she actually relates to the child. So the child becomes a reminder. So imagine a woman who was, betrayed by her husband, and years later, her son has his father's eyes. So every time she looks at him, there can be a tiny emotional association with the man who betrayed her. Or a woman who experienced domestic violence has a daughter who has her father's mannerisms, but her face, you know, so the daughter is not, doing anything wrong, but her face, her voice, her movement, or her personality can now activate memories the mother has never actually processed. you know so the mother may therefore experience, contradictory feelings. I love my child, but simultaneously looking at my child brings back everything or anything that I hate. So that contradiction can now become, dangerous when the mother doesn't recognize it. She may punish the child for resemblance. Unfortunately, she will punish the child for resemblance. So this is where the dynamic becomes particularly painful. She may now actually become, irritated by traits that remind her of the father. You sound just like him. You look just like him. You have his attitude. You have his eyes. You are exactly like your father. And eventually, resemblance itself becomes associated with wrongdoing. So the child learns that there's something wrong with me that I actually inherited from my father. So sometimes the mother rejects the child's, gendered resemblance. So this can be, specifically complicated. A son may become, associated with male betrayal, violence, abandonment, morning, infidelity, or even, domination as well. And a daughter may now become associated with the woman the father desired, the mistress, the mother-in-law, or even the mother's own perceived failures as a wife as well. And sometimes the child, resembles the father so strongly that the mother's unresolved relationship with him actually gets unconsciously transferred into the child. So the child becomes the stand-in, not consciously, not deliberately, but relationally. So she may become harsher towards that child. Perhaps she has, several children, and one looks like her, another looks like the father. So the mother's emotional response may be noticeably different because you look like your father. Wena o kgwela gore o tshwana le papago. Gore o kgwela gore o tshwana le papago. O kgwela gore wena, you have your father's mannerisms, the funny side of him, gore o kgwela yona that thing. So that the child who resembles her may actually feel familiar, but the child who resembles the father may actually feel activating to the mom. So there is, more criticism, less affection, more suspicion, less patience, more comparison, less protection as well, and nobody understands why. So the child may eventually now conclude, mom just doesn't like me. My mom does not like me. So she may unconsciously try to destroy the resemblance. She may, unconsciously try to destroy the resemblance. So this can show up in surprisingly ordinary ways. She may now constantly criticize the child's voice, the posture, hairstyle, personality, mannerisms, temperament, interests, and experiences as well, and expressions, because these characteristics remind her of the father. And unfortunately, the mother may genuinely believe that I am correcting bad behavior, but psychologically, she may be fighting a memory. So the deepest problem is that the child cannot escape representation. The child cannot say, I am not him. The child can never say, I am not him, because the mother already knows that cognitively, but emotionally, the resemblance can still activate something in the mother. And that's why unresolved maternal trauma can become intergenerationally transmitted through relationships, even without the mother consciously intending to repeat anything. That is the unfortunate part. So the mother was hurt by the father. She never processed the hurt. The child resembles the father. The child becomes associated with the hurt. The mother reacts to the child. The child grows up wounded, and eventually the child may carry the belief that my mother hated something about me that I could not change. And there's an even darker possibility when it comes to this. Sometimes the mother doesn't merely see the father in the child. What she does is that she sees the version of herself that existed with the father. So the child reminds her of the woman she was before the abuse, reminds her of the years she lost, the marriage she regrets, the dreams she abandoned, the humiliation she endured, the person she became while surviving the father. So she is not necessarily rejecting the child, she is rejecting the life that the child reminds her of. And this is why, healing actually matters. It matters so much because the child cannot be responsible for becoming psychologically separate, from a parent's unresolved trauma. So the mother has to eventually be able to look at her child and say, you are not him, you are not what happened to me, you are your own person. And until that separation actually happens, the child can spend years being punished for a history they did not create or could never even have known. Yeah, a lot of them have that problem. So guys, as I was saying, when we are talking about this, we have a reparenting group. So it's a 30-day group. So it's a 30-day group. It's only 500 rands. We show up every day. How on a day off? In the 30 days that you actually join. You join in the 30 days. You come through every day. You are on WhatsApp. You are on WhatsApp. We work on it. We work on your wounds, and then we give you coping techniques as well. Excuse me. It's actually 500 rands for 30 days straight up. And by the way, our one-on-one sessions is only 500 rands per session, which is 50 minutes. So you can book a session where you feel that you're overwhelmed. It's 500 rands per person per session. So that is how we go about it. And also we also have an event that is coming up. So the event is on the 29th of August. So this is a Dear Daughter event. It's for the eldest daughters. It's for the wounded daughters. It's for the hurt daughters. Each and every woman is a daughter somehow. You are a daughter. Whether your mother is alive or not, you are a daughter. So this event, the Dear Daughter event, will be focusing on healing your inner self. We are going to go back to being our childlike self. We are going to color. There will be coloring exercises. We are going to write and break plates. We are going to give each other words of encouragement. We are going to write our inner child letters. We are going to write our future self letters. It's going to be happening in Pretoria on the 29th of August. It's happening in Pretoria. So we are going to be doing that. We are also going to play games. We are not just going to be dealing with that, but we are also going to be playing games. There's going to be a jumping castle. We are going to play Budu Hula Hoop. Remember when we were still growing up and we used to play Dibati? This one, we don't have a virtual because you have to be physically there and play games, the games that we used to play when we were younger. So jumping castle, hula hoops. We are also going to be aggressive and fight mannequins as well, so that you can be emotionally charged. Whatever anger you have, you're going to now channel it there, because you find that you feel like you could scream. You are going to scream. You want to participate. It's going to be at the Botanical Gardens. It's going to be at the Botanical Gardens. So just if you're interested, send a message on WhatsApp. We'll put your name down and then we'll tell you how it goes about it. So some people have already paid and we are starting. I even got, a few games that we are going to play. I've already hired a jumping castle as well. So I think I need this event even is for my inner child and for me, parent who want to be about it. Yes, you must come. Even you as a parent, you must come. So we are going to be jumping, not just jumping, and it's also a bring and share, by the way. So we are going to create a WhatsApp group. We are going to bring and share. I will bring this. Someone else will say I'll bring this. Someone else will say I'll bring this, so that we can have, you can come on the next one. But we are going to bring snacks, foods, and then just be together and share
and all that. I have no memories of such. Most parents told their kids not to play with me. You see, you must come and play with us. You must come and play with us. The hula hoop do ona. The hula hoop. Jumping castles are going to be there. And I think I'm going to bring a skipping rope as well to be, while we are dealing with our own emotions, we are drinking, we are eating, we are having nice conversations, but still we are healing in the process as well. Send a message on WhatsApp. Send a message on WhatsApp. Send a WhatsApp message to us on 079 757 0393. It's 500 rands. That is basically where you get your tickets from us. I'm grateful I stumbled onto this live. I'm glad you stumbled and welcome. So yeah, you can, send us a message on WhatsApp and we can take it from there. If you are interested in any of the groups, let us know. If you're in one-on-one sessions, we also do have. We have support all rounder. One-on-one groups, it does not matter. Yes, I think he did. So that is basically, the events, the things that we're having this month. So that is the event. It's on the 29th of August. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. So that is basically, what we are going to be doing. I'm from Eswatini. Do you accept other? Yes, I do. Don't worry, Ntombi. We even have people who are from Thailand. We have one our groups worldwide, my dear, worldwide, because healing is not just for a certain type of people or just for South Africans. I believe that everyone should heal. So don't worry. We have people from all over. We have Miss K. You are muted. I mean, you're away. I don't know. You are on a coffee break. I don't know if you can hear us because. Okay, hi, Miss K.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, thank you. No, I just stumbled into the topic. I've always followed you, but this morning when I was browsing and I just stumbled into and I was relating so much. So I hear there is an upcoming event on you said 29th of August. I'm in Pretoria. So I will take the number and text you so then I can be part of the event. And
All right.
yes, I shared my story a little bit there. I don't know if you remember my comment about being the last one at home and always feeling like I need to negotiate for love. And even in my adult life, I still do. I get too attached. Once you show me some level of comfort and love and attention for that 2 minutes, for me it's like it's a platform for me to show my love, which it's also affecting me badly because then you end up trusting people that they are not loyal, they're not even for you. So those are the patterns that I find myself seeing. But now as I grow older, I'm starting to noticing the root cause of why am I like this. I laugh so much, I laugh too much, sometimes unnecessarily. So like I say, that you meet a person, you just start feeling like there is some sort of love that is presented at that time, and when you just go in very deep to a point where you now like, hi bo, who is this person? But those are the things that I'm experiencing. And also from home, I'm still not really close with any of my family members. It's like I'm an outsider when I'm home, even during festive when we are all together with my siblings. And my mother now has grown so much, like I said, that we are six and I'm the last. So you find out that I don't even have that relationship with my mother. And now she start calling and I'll just end up avoiding her because I don't even know. I'm navigating life in my adulthood on my own. I'm extremely independent, which also affects me because I don't know how to ask assistance. I started my career at a very young age. I was very bright when I was in varsity, so I got an opportunity to have a company that pays fees for my studies. And ever since, it has been me, and I went to boarding school. So you can imagine the relationship that I never really got to build with my mother, because Naya, she was working, she was taking care of other kids, not only myself. And me, I was very young. So when I get here in Gauteng, I was already independent, working. At the age of 20, I was already working like on my own, traveling to other provinces. So now life is dealing with me to a point where I need the love, but I don't even know how to access it, because they maybe think I got it all together. But yeah, it gets to a point where you question yourself so many questions because you don't understand even yourself. But such an event and, discussions about the trauma and childhood, I really can relate. Yeah, no, that's my story. Let me not go.
All right. Thank you for sharing. The reality is a lot of people, and I'm sorry you went through that, but I'm glad you're able to, now say, I think I need healing. So one thing I can tell you is that you said, I don't know. I know that I'm looking for love, but I don't know where to get it. We can easily say to you, it comes from within, comes from you. But if you have never been given the blueprint, you don't even know where to search within for you to actually give yourself the love that we keep on saying comes from within. So it comes with, healing your childhood trauma, your childhood wound. Hence, I'm saying this event that is coming up, we are going to be looking into that. We are going to be looking into spaces where how can you then reparent yourself and give yourself the love that your mother never necessarily gave you. And remember, this is, it's on a spectrum. Someone might have had everything financially, but you find that emotionally the mom was not there. It's in Pretoria, Palesa. It's in Pretoria. So I'm glad that you will be joining us at this event, and I can guarantee you that it will heal something in you. The people who have joined, our programs will tell you that it does something to your soul. It might be triggering in the beginning. The one thing I can tell you is that it feels heavy in the beginning, but I don't believe in cleaning the wound just on the outside. I believe in reopening the wound because it's not healed on the inside, and then we clean it from the inside out so that you don't continue going back to it. But you will be fine, my dear.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the event on the 29th. You said, ne? On the 29th.
Yes, it's a Saturday.
Okay, all right. No, thank you, because sometimes you wonder why even your romantic relationship, you are too independent, but also you feel like you can do it all alone, but you know deep down that you want affection. So because you don't know how to receive it, you also feel like you are hyper independent, you can do it all alone, but it doesn't work like that. And that's where now childhood traumas, how did I grow up myself? Because I'm not really, I think my siblings are not relating with me, because I have just buried my dad. And for me, at the funeral, it was just anybody's funeral, They were all crying. It was only me. And I was asking myself so many questions, because my mother and my dad divorced, I think, when I was like 5 years. So now, yeah, I didn't have any relationship with only my sisters. Maybe I was a but with me, I was very young. I've never really had a relationship with him, So I was not relating even at the funeral. It was like, oh, okay, I was the one who making sure that they are not crying. It's like it's not my dad. I'm not laughing. I'm just like, so then you end up thinking, oh, okay, so clearly I don't really have anybody on my side, and also with that little bit of independency on my side, I really don't. Emotionally, I'm depending on myself, and it gets really overwhelmed. So even them, my siblings, we just don't have any. Everyone is minding their own business, and it's really affecting me, because I end up not wanting to be with them. I don't even want to go home. and it's not nice. Yeah.
All right. No, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Solo, hi.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm alright, thanks, and you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, I saw that you opened the. I just wanted to come up and say, thank you for. Made you alive, and you started, talking, and I felt like someone is hearing me for the first time ever. And today I'm 37, right? And I don't think I've ever met someone who actually can explain what I went through. And a lot of people, even like I've been to psychologists, I've been to social workers, right, but they were never able to understand and grab what exactly I'm trying to say. And I feel like you were able to understand, and I really thank you so much, for that, because I feel like I'm not crazy. I feel like I'm not like I'm not entitled, or I'm not, like I used to have those feelings, like maybe I'm asking for too much, maybe I'm just being difficult. But like there's nothing. What I went through was not normal. It was not normal. But like now I'm older, and I've been away from my mom for like 15 years now, because I got married, and I just moved out, and I do go home, but not a lot. We do still have a relationship, but it's not like that close. But I just as I just grew older, I just decided, you know what, I'm not gonna hold it against her, as long as I know how to behave. Like I know how to protect myself now that I'm older. Like whenever she starts having her tantrums and everything, or maybe becomes mean or something, I just know how I know how to remove myself from the situation. So but then obviously when I was younger, I couldn't go anywhere. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I will make an effort to join your event. My situation started actually very young, like from a very young age, in the way in which my mom like just used to beat me for the smallest things, right? And one of the ones that I always remember vividly, and I just didn't understand, was when yo like sleeping. I slept. I remember there was a time where I slept standing up for the whole night, right? And it sounds crazy, because like a lot of people, when I tell them, they don't believe me. Like they don't think, like, are you for real that you could literally stand the whole night? I couldn't sleep on the bed, because she was like, you're not gonna sleep on my bed, you know and yo like there's so many things that she did. But then um as I grew up, there's just a lot. I remember one time where I think I wrote here on the comments, where I had to go and stand in front of a judge and actually lie. She literally told me what I must say, and it traumatized me, because I had to remember that, because I knew that if I don't remember word for word, it was gonna be hell for me. you know if anything happened and she didn't get her way, it was going to be hell. My mom was like very violent and everything, so she would get arrested many times with with her boyfriends and all of that. So she would literally blame me for everything that is happening in her life. So I remember even one time. Yo, there's so many things. Like there's so many things. Like I don't even know, but I maybe by the day I come, maybe I don't know. Will your event be like, we will be sharing or stuff like at your event, or
Yes, there will be sharing for those who are comfortable with sharing. Even
Mm,
in my platforms, I always say that if you're not compelled or you're not comfortable to share, you don't have
mm,
to. But if you
mm,
feel that, you know what, maybe sharing will help me cry or will help me release, then by all
mm.
means.
Yeah, no, not for me. I no longer cry a lot because I mean I'm older now. I have my own family and kids and all of that. It does affect me. I'm kind of scared of touching in that because I it's so it's traumatizing. But I no longer cry a lot. But I used to like cry. But yeah, for me, coming would actually just also help because a lot of people, it's difficult for people to believe a mother can actually do so many things to you. So I just wanted to like add to the voice to say, guys, a mother can actually be like, mean and can be, horrible, and because I remember I think I was 11. My mom beat me with a chair, right? And I had a visible wound like on my head, right? And I went to the social worker, and the social worker told me that, okay, so if your mother gets arrested, what are you going to eat? So I was like, because that day I was like, sorry, it's my baby. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna take this. I'm gonna get her arrested. But then the social worker told me that no, if you get your mother arrested, so now what are you gonna eat? But then at the time, my grandmother was there, so I told her that no, I will go to my grandmother. But she was like insisting that no, you can't get your mother arrested and stuff like that. So from there, I just felt like for the first time I got the strength to get help, but nobody helped me. There's so many things like the one thing that stands out, that showed me that my mom was like didn't hated me, was when I actually got raped, like when I was 5, right? But I couldn't tell anyone, right? Because obviously the person like was threatening me and all of that. He was like living near our house, and but at the time I didn't understand. Obviously I'm a child. I don't know what's going on. Like I don't understand what's going on. So those things kept on playing in my head, and I grew up, and the day when I was able to tell her was when I woke up from a dream and I was crying, right? And I felt like that that thing was happening to me again, right? So then obviously I was screaming and all that, and then she came to my bedroom, and then I told her that actually, this is what happened to me when I was your do you know that my mom actually, okay, she called the family and of that guy, and I thought, okay, maybe you know this person was going to be arrested and stuff like that. No, my mom actually wanted monetary compensation from that family. And what made me know that actually I think she took money from them is when it was my graduation, right? And when I came home, I saw this guy at my house, and I was like, why is he here? And he was like, no, I mean, it's the past, forget, you must move on. I'm like, why would I move? I was so confused. Like, why would you do that? You know, after I told you that this person did this to me, and you invite them to the house, or you don't chase them away or something. I was so defeated that time. I was like, no, this woman, I know. I can see now she really does not like me. And because obviously when I become a teenager, I become a little bit rebellious and all of that. And I found a boyfriend, and he was like, he's my husband now. So he was a good guy, and he was able to, when I explained to him, he was able to become patient with me and all of that. So I kind of like felt he was my boyfriend now. Do you know when she started to see, like, oh, this thing is serious? My husband actually tells me this. She tells me, do you know, your mom came to me that she told me that, you're not gonna last with this one. My mom, my own mother, telling my boyfriend at the time that, you're not gonna last with this one. She's problematic and all of that. Hey, lang, guys. And years later, now she now tells me that, oh, now you're married and you left me, and I didn't get married because I was raising you. Like that woman. But anyway, thank you so much, for the opportunity. And it's just a lot. If I can unpack now, a lot of people are not gonna be able to have an opportunity to speak. So I just hope that maybe that day I'll be able to share and help other people
Right.
through, like, thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing. And when you come, don't come with a heart of stone. Just be yourself and be vulnerable, because you might say, one thing I know is that a lot of people will say, I don't cry. But once you become emotionally, charged, allow yourself to go through the emotions, allow yourself to, know that this is for my healing journey as well. And I'm sorry, the practitioners that you went through or went to never necessarily, understood you. You didn't feel understood, and the help that you were looking for, you never got, because who's going to take care of you and all those things. The social workers were wrong for saying such things to you, because you thought, okay, now I'm standing up for myself. But please do join us at the event. I think it would be very helpful as well, because sometimes we go through things and we think we are the only ones who are going through it. But when we hear someone else saying, I went through this, and you're like, oh, so this was not necessarily normal. Okay, so, and it also affects how you are, as a person as well. It spills over if you don't deal with it. It will show up in your work, it will show up in your relationships, it will show up in your parenting, it will show up in how you show up in your business. So this is why I always say that healing is important, because your best life is on the other side of your healing journey. And these are my favorite words, because I know that your best life is on the other side of your healing journey. If you don't do the work and you don't start, unfortunately, you're going to keep on repeating the same cycles, and you'll be wondering, why am I repeating the same cycles, but not understanding why it keeps on happening. But thank you for sharing. Ngovukazi, hi.
Good morning, morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm okay. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you for sharing all of this information this morning. I woke up to this session, so I know definitely it was meant for me. I can relate to probably 90% of all the points that you mentioned. And for me, I am on both sides of the coin. So I am the firstborn daughter that was parentified and all of those things. And then I'm also the mother that, has done some wrongs. But I think the good part of it is that at least that I'm conscious of certain things and I'm doing the work. So I'm a mother of an 18-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter. And then I'm also divorced, recently divorced. I think I'm like a year divorced. So I'm that over performer, performing in order to get love, because that was what was done. That's what I needed to do in the family. Obviously, you're trained to overperform. And so I came to the realization in my marriage that I was carrying absolutely everything. And also what you had mentioned about choosing a partner that is absent, that is emotionally not absent, that is not present, that doesn't participate. So I came to that realization as well. So I did do some therapy during the separation period, myself with my children, but similar to the lady that spoke before, it wasn't, in depth, and it wasn't anything that sort of really brought me, healing that I needed. And so a lot of the stuff that I've done that I felt made a difference was stuff that I did on my own, whether be it shadow work, whether be it reading more on the subject, sharing with people maybe who've been through similar experiences. Oh, by the way, I'm calling from Botswana, so I won't be able to attend the August event. However, I will join the WhatsApp groups and do what you have available, online and so forth. So I'm definitely going to join in whatever capacity that is available to me. Not that I never come to South Africa, but it would need to be a little bit more planned. But
Oh, don't worry. I'm planning something for Botswana. I have a few Botswana people that
wow.
are interested in the event. So I've seen that a lot of Botswana people have been coming through booking sessions. So if we do get the number that is needed, I most definitely will be coming to Botswana before the end of the year.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. Because like I said, for me, it's both sides of the coin. But I think the fact that I'm conscious of it, and I make a conscious effort to make the necessary changes that are necessary. Like, for example, my parents never apologized to me. They still don't, if they're wrong in a particular instance. But I make sure that when I'm wrong, I talk to my children and I apologize and tell them that I'm wrong, that what I did was not correct. Or if I know that, this thing, what I did to you, or I wasn't in a place of knowing at the time that I wronged you in this particular thing. So that is one thing that I've changed. And yeah, I do worry about my son because he's like I said, he's 18. He's a little bit older, but it's never too late to make the necessary changes. And I do talk to him a lot. We do talk, and I allow him to express himself freely all the time. Whatever hurt that he's going through, and just taking it in, not talking back, blocking whatever it is. I allow him to speak, and then I'll explain myself, but not by diminishing his feelings, like validating what he feels, and then also sharing what I have to say, maybe as the mother. So yeah, but anyway, that's just my 2 cents, and I'm glad to know that you have intentions of coming over this side. So yeah, in the meantime, we'll do the online, and then when you do come over, I'll definitely join.
All right. Thank you. And thank you for sharing. I like people, and thank you for your vulnerability. I love people who, adults now, who are like, yeah, I think I might have also damaged my kids because I didn't know better. But just because I didn't know better doesn't mean that I cannot, make amends. So a lot of people now are very defensive when you bring it up and you're like, but your child cannot just start and wake up and say, I hate my mom. There has to be a disconnect that happened along the way where the child felt like, because growing up, we look at our parents, we're like, this is my God, this this is the person who's supposed to protect me in all might, so I'm thank you for that. Thank you for saying that you're on the other side of the coin, but you also see and you're trying to do the work. You're trying to do the work as well, and that is a beautiful thing, because as much as you might not notice it, there's certain aspects where your son also sees that, what, mama is actually trying. She's putting in on the effort. She's doing the work as well. And guys, I'm sorry you guys have been seeing therapists that are not necessarily going deep into where you feel that, these people actually, understand me. I always say that do your due diligence when you book people. Even when it comes to me, do the research. Look, is this the person I want? If I'm not, move on. It's okay to go through 6 or 7 therapists, not that you're the problem, but also for the mere fact that find the perfect fit for you. Because the very same way, if you had a broken limb, you find that your foot is broken, and you go to a therapist and you see that this one is not doing the work, you would not continue going to that person. Then you should do the same when it comes to your mental health, your psychological health. Treat it as the same way you would actually treat your physical health as well, because it is, very important. But yes, we do have, the groups. We have people from all over the world, different parts of the world, because healing is universal. It's not just, here. It's Rumi, it's cash. It's not, medical. It's cash. So that is basically, the things that, are happening, or, will be happening as well. So yeah, tomorrow we'll come back, and guys, thank you for sharing. And I'm sorry you guys had to go through that, most especially. And like I said, because we look at mothers as, hey, this is my God. We have this mentality that mothers can never do wrong. Like, we get so shocked, like, yo, but she's a woman. Why would a woman do that? She's a mother. Guys, mothers are also, thank you. Mothers are also human beings. They also mess up sometimes. I have fucked up a lot as well, but the reality is that after messing up, I hold myself accountable. You hold yourself accountable. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that, and you go back and you apologize. How could I have done this better, so that if I encounter the situation again, I don't go through the very same cycle again, which means I will have to do better. You're human. You're bound to mess up. You're not perfect. Here and there you are going to mess up, and after you mess up, what do you do with your mess ups? Are you apologizing? Are you, because also apologizing without any changed behavior is also manipulation. I feel like people who apologize without any changed behavior, they're just, manipulating us. So what are you doing with, the information that you have in the self-awareness? Are you acting different? Are you doing any different, So I love that, we are a generation that says, now I know that I messed up, but let me see how I can fix, the mess that I've created. We don't shy away, and we sit in our corners. We actually come back and say, you know what, my child, I'm sorry. I shouldn't, have done that. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to try and come back again, and we are going to continue with mothers. We are going to continue with, the trauma that our mothers actually, give us, because sometimes it's so subtle, we don't even notice it up until your friend says, but that's not normal. And you're like, I had no idea. I started 7. I started 7. Oh, I'm glad you felt, a bit of relief. Can we have specialists that can talk trauma and spirituality? Hey, Rumimina, I'm just on the trauma side. I'm a specialist. I'm registered as a specialist counselor with the Counseling Association of South Africa. So yeah, the spirituality part, I don't know. I don't know. You can look for one online. Hi, Miss V.
Hi, my dear. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I hear that you're starting at 7. I would have loved to have started with you. It's only now that I came across your panel, but I am a mother whom I believe that my kids are a victim from my upbringing, and I do account for that. I also need help, but I'll also need help for my kids, because there are times where I think I've been overprotective, and moreover, I've also been a very loud and noisy mom. As a result, one of my kids ended up not being able to can communicate with me at all about anything. Even a little thing, she'll be scared that mama will shout at me, and it's very painful. But I've seen your phone numbers on the thingy. I will contact you, and I would also love for you to also help my kids, especially my daughter who's 25 years old. I think I've done a lot of damage when it comes to her also.
Okay, please do send us a message on WhatsApp, and most definitely we'll work on that. I love today's mothers. I love today's panel because people are saying, I did this. I think I might have damaged my child because I didn't know better. I didn't have, but it's not an excuse. So I just want to repair, you know,
Yeah.
the things that I've done, and that is a beautiful thing. It takes courage to be able to hold yourself accountable. It's beautiful to watch. So that is
Yeah.
that is the first step, by the way, Miss V. So you're doing great by actually just saying, you know what, I believe that I might have messed up, and I think I need help. So that is what we can do moving forward. And yes, when
Yeah.
Ali Lindo, we need to take care of each other's women. Now we have a group of women. We have a group on WhatsApp. It's very nice. It's very nice because even my research, guys, when I do research, because I write a lot of research papers, I focus on women. Women are my thing because I'm a woman. Women are my thing. Science has excluded us for so long. Patriarchy has excluded us for so long. Kori, even if you find me doing research, I'm that person you find in the corner when someone says, I think men and women are equal. And I'll be like, yay, women are superior. I'm that girl. So yes, we should be, taking care of each other. But yes, Miss V, I look forward to hearing from you so that, we can start, on your healing journey and your kids' healing journey as well. Rumi, hi.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, OC. Yeah, I just got in late. I hear you leaving, but I wanted to share also because I've been feeling overwhelmed, and so with my situation at home is with my mom. It's so even I told myself I better accept it. It's not even a secret because we don't get along, so it feels like um those who can see, hands, and also those who have the spiritual discernment can also see what's happening, because my mother, I feel like she doesn't want, good things for me, and also she's gotten other family members like siblings to isolate me. Now when I go home, when I visit, I see that even the little ones, it's like it's openly that I'm the black sheep. Kulawan, don't talk to this one that mother doesn't embrace a lot. I live away from home, but I hardly talk to my mother. And when I get home, immediately she's busy on the phone with her sister's kids, her sisters, what's this? Getting hey nieces, yeah. So she will be busy, and I'm like, how I thought maybe she's busy, she doesn't, she can't take a call or WhatsApp. The whole weekend she'll be busy talking to them. Hey, got every minute wa WhatsApp, and then when I got more, it's like she's even denying you conversations, chats, these small chats. It's like o tla be a go spoon feeder, or a go, she'll be wa go senya in a way. Ke la bona? So yeah, I think it hasn't been always like that. But since my stepdad passed away, things happened, and from there, that's when I was like, okay. And also when I check myself, and I'm like, I'm not that child, the rebellious child who does her own thing. I'm only secretive, yes, with my life, but ha ke ba leba gore ke checkile ke a go nwa or ke ira dilo tse le gore they are out, but they always seem and they always make it out to be like nah, for some reason. And everything that happens, my mom will talk, like she takes the phone and tells my brother even a little thing. Oh no, secretive. Hey, can you believe what she did? 1 2 3 this and that, and dilo tsa teng ha se the issue ebile for an adult, someone who's staying on their own. So yeah, I feel like she unfortunately with the siblings, they can't see through her, and one has to ask, Mara, why is she doing that? She's okay with me not um getting along with them, and for some reason I'm the problem, and then problem I thinking it's not even a problem now to me. Now the only thing about me is maybe ke secretive, and I'm allowed to keep some things secret, so it's amazing how sometimes, I mean, just yesterday I went to Pled somewhere, and I kept laughing as the mother was, talking to the children. God, it's a full house of girls, the grandkids, and Baseba Kamo, the Baseba look at the neighbor and Kulaban Batla, and I kept laughing and thinking how, the things that happen between mothers and daughters, that you don't get to experience. So yeah, that's my story.
Thank you for sharing. If I may ask, you mentioned what after your things were okay up until your stepdad passed away, right? How old were you? And when we look at birth order, kwana wa bokae?
Okay, Gile 99 and
Kwana last born?
oh yes, Kena last born. Between the two, between my parents, I can't know my dad had other children after the divorce. Then Kena last born, yeah.
Ko your mom?
Actually, we just two. I have an older brother, but they are more close. My older brother is closer to my mom. But it's a deal together, things like that. So it's just the two of us, because now a year after I was born, then they divorced. So my mom never had children. I think maybe if she did, then she aborted, because I hear that a lot. Yeah. So
Okay. Do you look like your dad?
yes, yeah, I think so.
All right. I just wanted that information for myself.
Yeah, but
It's
also
not
my
bad.
brother also looks like my dad.
But remember, your brother looks like your dad, but they divorced after you were born. So she probably maybe reminds her of, the psychological aspect of it would be the time of, when they were still happy. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just trying to figure out what could be, the root cause as to why when you're both from, the same dad and you are treated differently. It's not okay. It's not okay. Kids are not supposed to be, feeling the pain because maybe a parent does not like one parent, or, things like that, or because they have, issues with the other parent. So it's not supposed to be like that. Hence I'm saying, when we look at our mothers, we see these gods, most especially when we are younger. Like, oh my gosh, it would be so, and it becomes so sad when you try to build a relationship with this mom and she's sort of not interested. Wabo. So but tomorrow do join, so that because we are going to I'm going to touch on relationships tomorrow. I'm going to touch on romantic relationships and your mother, the type of blueprint you were given by your mother, and this is why you do these things in romantic relationships. And then the other day, I'm going to talk about parenting, because I see someone just said that we also, what did she say? Are, and I responded, are, but also our parents are victims too. They also went through it, or went through a lot. Yes, they went through a lot, but we cannot use it as a weapon and an excuse, from 7 a.m. from 7. We cannot use it as an excuse for our parents treating us badly. It's not your fault you went through what you went through, but it's your responsibility to heal from it. Our parents, went through the most, but most people who have been here, you can see that they're saying, she treats my siblings differently. She treats my siblings differently. So you cannot come here and tell me that this person is basically not aware of what they are doing. Consciously, somewhere, somehow, it might hit or no, man. There's something that I'm doing. because why are you singling me out of all the kids? Wabana, if it was where there was no singling the child, you find that it's five. All of them, they were treated the same way. The issue now becomes when we are going to make an excuse and you find that that one child was the one that was, singled out and treated differently and abused Ali one, excuse me, because I see there's a lot of abuse, a lot of, sometimes when we look at abuse, we just look at it physically as well. Mutarno, but nakale bampeto, mutarno. Now my mom here would throw a stone at me or a brick at me, and that is not normal, guys. That is abuse, and because you've lived through the things that went through, your brain has conditioned it as normal. It has normalized it. That is your normal. But your nervous system, yeah, boy, no, man, this is not normal. This is not how it's supposed to be. And unfortunately, it spills over in your other aspects of your life, like I've already said. So, guys, I have to love and leave you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the shares. And thank you for the gift as well. And for the firstborn daughters, or for the eldest daughter, actually for daughters, I also have a book. It's a PDF book. It's called We Hate Our Eldest Daughters and Call It Love. It's PDF. It's 70 rands. We hate our eldest daughters and call it love. You can send us a message on WhatsApp and pay for the book, and then we give it to you. It will heal you. It will heal you, because even people who are not eldest daughters have actually told me that it has healed them. It's making them cry. 079 757 0393. It's a South African number. +27 79 757 0393. So you can go through it. It will trigger you, but it will also heal you. So that, as an eldest daughter, you or as a daughter, you get to see that, ooh, this is what I'm going through. This is what I went through. This is what's happening. But there's something healing in the texts or in the books as well. So you can get a copy or join one of our programs, or actually, join us month end when we have the healing event. It's women only. We don't want men. Hey, banna balapisha ke banna. I only want women. I love dealing with women. It's only going to be women. It's a ladies thing. We are just going to be working on, balancing our nervous system. We are going to work on recalibrating, our nervous system. And I'm also going to bring a nervous system coach as well. It's one of our students. She actually she did the diploma with us of nervous system healing. So she's going to even help you guys regulate when you are overly charged because you are crying or you are angry. She will just come to you, tell you, calm down, breathe in, breathe out, do this, and then help you, calm your nervous system as well. I always say that when your nervous system, a lot of you, I know your nervous systems are not, are not regulated. You go through something, and even hours later, you're still anxious, or you're still scared. You miss an accident by an inch while you're driving, and your nervous system you're still anxious even hours later. Yes, we also offer courses. We also have diplomas. We have professional diplomas. So if you're interested, you can come through and come to us. We do offer those diplomas. So yeah, we also offer those where you can, embark. Plus now, public health has been saying that people are dying from, a lot of people in South Africa are dying from type 2 diabetes, or diabetes rather. So we also have lifestyle medicine that will actually help you, make interventions of lifestyle conditions as well. So we do offer those as well. So if you're interested, just shoot us a text. And we also have payment plans and scholarships as well. So we have partial scholarships. So we also have payment plans. You find that you get a scholarship and then you also get a payment plan. So it's not like we want it all at once. We understand that, finances are not just great for everyone. So you get, you get from your scholarship, you can also get partial payments. I mean payment plan. Okay, I can afford 1,000 a month, or I can afford 200 a month, and then we see if we will be able to take your 200 a month. So we take it from there. Hey, there's a man who requested. So I don't know. I think it was a mistake because I was worried. What about tongue? Maybe we'll throw it raw. So yeah, guys, you can send us a message on WhatsApp or even a DM here on TikTok. When we see it, we do respond. So do enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, bye bye, guys.